We're marching to Zion. Beautiful, beautiful Zion. We're marching upward to heavenly Zion, the beautiful city of God.
Amen. Good afternoon, church. I trust that you are well fed, not too tired, but alert and ready to go for the rest of the program. I only heard one answer, so I'm not sure how to interpret that. This afternoon we continue with the theme, and we want to look at some practical ways that we can engender unity within our families and within the church family. And leading the program today is Elder Lane Robinson from Brixton SDA Church. So Lane is a friend of mine. We actually went to university in Jamaica around the same time. So me and Jadine would have known him from around that time. And we ended up coming over to the UK. I think Lane came over, was it 04? When? No, man, 08? So yeah, so I came over 05 to study, went back home, and then I came back 07, and then Lane came up. So Lane works with the Commonwealth Secretariat. He's head of social policy. A lot of his work has involved working with youth, developing programs, and he's a well-traveled man. I don't think there's any country within the Commonwealth that he hasn't visited. I'm sure if we look at the countries represented here, he might have visited one of them. I ask that you provide not just your attention, but it's going to be interactive. There are going to be exercises for us, and we just wanted to make good use of all the tools, and we hope that at the end of the program, the tips that you've received and the exercises that we've done will help you not just for today, but it's something to take into the future to instill within your families. I'll hand over to Lane. Well, I just call him Lane. And some people say Elder Robinson.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Good to be here. Thank you so much for having me on this year Family Day. Welcome. Thank you so much. So, this is Family Day. So, I know you're kind of scattered about, but it's a workshop, so we're going to work. So, I don't mind. I don't know if you mind. It's one of the hardest things in all the churches. Let's just come closer to the front so we can work together. All the children, too, don't stay too far. And while you're doing that, I want to have either siblings or husband and wife, siblings or one sibling, maybe brother, sister, or husband and wife, or mother, daughter, it doesn't really matter. If you're related, I want one of you to just come with me. Just two of you. So, I mean, if you're a couple, I see one there, that one I know. I'm going to trouble them because they're there. Sister, brother Maluba, Elder Maluba, come up, both of you. That's one, that's covered. And I want another father, daughter, bring father, daughter. Father, daughter, come. That's two. What else we have? We have any father, daughter? Do we have any brothers, any sisters? Anybody? So husband and wife here. Mother, father, daughter. One more set. Siblings. If not, we're going to take another couple. So another couple there. So she's shaking her head. And any other family members? Your family in some way, form, or shape. I need you to come. Who else is there? All right, I'm going to take couples. Say another couple. You have to come. We have to come. Let's come. Judine. Oh, no, you can have mother and son. Mother and son. Jude. We have father and daughter. Jude. Jude, come. Any other? One more set. I need to write up one more. One more that we have. All right, so we're going to try this one. If you're still coming, welcome, come to the front, because it's a workshop. In workshops, people work together, so this is one set. All right, we'll work with who we have. For now, it's fine. What I want them to do is something very simple. All right, so when I'm going to give one of you a sheet to fill in, and then the other person is going to have to know what. We'll pick one. I'm going to ask Dwayne to tell me what his favorite color is. But he will tell me what you don't know. One's in the front. The ones in the front are the ones who are going to come to. So you want to do, you reckon come to the front? She can't fill it out. She's only 5. Yeah, you have to know her too. It's fine. All right, good. Don't talk. Hearing me, that's why you have to come forward. So while you guys are here, today we're talking about strengthening families, fostering unity in our church, okay? So that's what we're talking about. So Sister Maluba, Jude, you are part of the church. Tell me a little bit about Daddy. What do you know about him? Anything?
He's in his 40s.
He's in his 40s. Sister Maluba. Tell me something that we need to know about Elder Maluba.
He loves to cook.
He loves to cook?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Tell me your name. What's your name?
Tamaya.
Hi, Tamaya. Tell me something about Daddy. That only you know. Tell me something. Anything. What is his favorite sport? What does he like to do?
Football.
He loves football, all right. I hope that's true. So we have in our church lots of different people, and we have different things that we like or don't like. So what we want to do now, we want to test that. We live together. We wake up every day. We spend most of our time, even today, we spend a lot of time together in church. But part of what we want to unpack in this workshop is how much do we really know about each other, because it's part of what makes us human. So these gentlemen have all had an activity to do, which we're going to test now. So we're going to hopefully, give me the pen, we'll probably need it later. All right, so they have put some, yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your bravery and pen. All right, good. So what we're going to do now, I've asked them some simple questions, basic things that they should know about their family member. In the case of Dwayne, things that he should know about Jude. In the case of Elder Maluba, what he should know about his wife. And in the case of Daddy, what he should know about his daughter. It should be easy, because we spend so much time together, we should know each other very well. So I'm going to assume that everybody's going to get, there are 4 questions on it, I'm going to assume they're going to get all right. Who said they're going to get all right? Raise your hands. Come on. There are father, son, husband, wife. Husband and wife. Who think Elder Dwayne is going to get everything right about his dear son? All right. Elder Maluba, Sister Elder Malubas, we think they're going to get, they've been together so long. Father and daughter. She's so young. You must know, you used to change her nappies. She must, pampers. She must know everything. So let's find out, shall we? So we're going to go one at a time. No, so let me start at the end. All right, so we're going to start over here. Okay, Tanaya, that's your right, I'm pronouncing it right? You're going to have to be a really brave girl for me. Can you tell me, what is your favorite fruit? What's your favorite fruit?
Orange.
Orange. She said her favorite fruit is? Orange. And her father wrote her favorite fruit is plum. That's not so right. That's not right. Okay, Tanaya, two more questions. Okay, tell me, what is your favorite day of the week, not Sabbath, apart from Sabbath? What is the best day that you love? Which day of the week? You have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Which one is the best day of the week, not Sabbath?
Friday.
Friday. She said her best day of the week apart from Sabbath is Friday. You know what Daddy wrote? Sunday. Daddy not doing so good, my dear. All right, one more. All right. What is your favorite place to be? You love being there. When you go there, you're so happy. Tell me what that place is. Where?
Church.
Church. And you know what Daddy wrote? Church. A round of applause for Daddy. Finally got one. Last one. Oh, last one. What do you love to eat? What's your favorite meal? Tell me what you love to eat. Love it. One.
Vegetables.
Vegetables. That's a trick one. What is your favorite meal? One more try. Vegetables. You know what Daddy wrote? Pasta. Round of applause for Daddy and daughter got one. Thank you so much for being so brave, very brave. But Daddy needs to go and sit and ask Tana some more questions to get to know her. All right, let's go on. Number two. All right, here we go. I wonder which one this is year one? Which one is year one?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I'm going to do that one. Okay, so we're going to do the married couple. How long have you been married, sister?
25 years.
What? That's quarter century? So that means it's 25 years of knowing each other. Congratulations, by the way. All right, Sister Maluba, same questions, easy one. I hope you never squint and... Okay. Can you tell the love the church brethren on this family day? What is your favorite fruit?
Mango.
Mango. Am I reading the right thing here? Say mango.
Mango.
You know what your husband wrote? Banana. Black and white. I'm not getting involved in it. Go and talk to her. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved in it. That is between you and her. I'm not getting involved. All right. What is your favorite day of the week, not Sabbath?
Thursday.
Thursday. You know what your husband wrote? Wednesday. Not going so good for Elder Maluba. Elder Maluba. Last, number three. Your favorite place to be?
Retreats.
All right, that's it. Your favorite place to be is a retreat. Mm-hmm. That's it. All right. Okay. You know what Elder Maluba wrote? Guess? Church or work? This one is retreat. Retreat is like church. All right, that's good. Number 4, last one. What is your favorite meal?
Sima.
Hey. Your husband wrote?
Sima.
All right. 1 for 1.5. Don't you think 1.5? Thank you so much. 25 years. You still have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to go and ask each other. In those late nights, just sit down and ask each other these questions. All right. Father and son. Now, how old is Jude, roughly?
He's 8.
He's 8. So that's 8 years you spent 3 years at university, so 8 years is like PhD. Okay? So here we go. Jude, can you answer for us? What is your favorite fruit?
Apple.
Apple. His favorite fruit is not yours. You know what Daddy wrote your favorite fruit is? Mango. What is it? You're looking at him? You have to look at him. Is it your favorite or it's not? Okay. What is all right, the day of the week, the favorite day of the week that is not a Sabbath?
Monday.
Monday. You know what Daddy wrote? Monday. Well done, Daddy. Well done. Very good, very good. Now, favorite place to be? Favorite place to be?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. What did Daddy wrote? Jamaica. Well done. That's Williams. Very good. All right, and the last one. Favorite meal?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. It probably is not your favorite food. Favorite food, you know what Daddy wrote? Sticky rice and fish. So they got 2 out of 4, is that good? No. Go and talk to him, don't talk to me. Go and talk to your son. I don't want to hear anything. Go and talk to your son. Don't talk to me. So, it was very good. So we have 8 years, 5 years, and 25 years. And still, of those 4 simple questions, nobody got all 4 right. And I think that would be the experience of most people. Because you're sitting beside each other, you sleep, you eat, you do everything together. And so the first thing I want us to think about in this workshop is, how well do you really know your family? Because we're making the assumptions that you know them, right? Because they're sitting beside you, you sleep, you bathe, you eat. When actually, you probably know more about the person maybe at work sometimes than your own family. And that is one part of what is probably causing us to have some challenges sometimes, because you don't really know each other. And I think all of us are, nobody is perfect, we're all having to learn. So one of the first things I want you to take away from this, if nothing else, from this icebreaker is, know each other. Get to know each other. It's as simple as asking them some of these simple questions. Find things to talk about. What is your favorite? It could have changed over time as well. So I'm not saying Elder Moluva, maybe she started liking mango or manna. Maybe it's changed. It can change. So you need to always be interrogating on that. Are we still together? All right, so that's number one. We're going to have hopefully we have a little bit of fun time this afternoon. We're going to be talking a bit more about some of this, but I want to go even further. And I want you to help me at some point. When I leave here today, I want you to leave with an understanding of some basic things that you can take with you and you can keep practicing and using if you choose to. So we're going to try some of that today. Are we still together? So I think, do I need to pray, or you prayed already? I think you prayed already. Did you pray? You prayed already. All right, good. So I'm going to pray. So we hope that as we go through this workshop, you will be working. So if you don't have a pen or a pencil, you may need one, because you'll be working, okay? So don't worry about it. We have some here, but you may need your own. So I'm going to progress a little bit. We're going to make some progress with some slides, and you can have these slides when you need, if you need it. Pointing this way, that way. Okay, all right. All right, I'm pointing it. It's on, yep. So it's probably need to move it for me. You can move it. You can try it as well if it's... All right, so one of the things that we'll be looking at, not so much is what makes us all the same, but what makes us different. In the UK right now and all over the world, people are, if you watch the US elections and other things, people are making a lot about what divides us. In the riots that they had in the UK the other day was all about what you're different than me. And so in church, and especially in families, we need to have a different approach to that. And I want to offer you the conversation around celebrating what's different. Don't let what's different separate us or cause us to not like each other. And that can easily happen, as you saw it in the world, it can happen in church. So we want to be able to address that. And so I want you to come with me on this journey about that. So let's see if we could make some progress on it. Okay, good. So there are different ways that we can be different. There are lots of things that make us different. There are 3 on the board, but you can tell me some, and I want you to talk back to me. What are some of the things that are major sources of differences in our lives, in church and in our families? What are some of the things that make us different? Well, one on the board is family background. So for those who are getting married, anybody else apart from these 2 are married? We have married couples anywhere else? Where else? Who else is married? There's one there. Anywhere else? One set here. Very good. So you're married, but you have a different family background, don't you? Tell me a bit about your family background. What is your family background like?
I was brought up in the church.
You were brought up in the church, and you, wife, you were also brought up in the church?
Half and half.
Half and half. So already, just off the bat, one was brought up in church, one half and half, or not at all. Would that cause a difference in how they see family life sometimes? It's simple. Anybody else? Who else is there? You have anybody around here? He's the one. Okay. What is different about your family background, how you were brought up?
So he didn't grow up with his dad,
Didn't grow up with his dad.
where I had both parents.
Both parents. That's a good one. Is that a good one? So what that would mean is, just off the bat, without even doing anything, that difference would mean certain things as they live through their relationship. Isn't that right? Can you give me an example? I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Can you give me an example of how it potentially could have, because of that difference, what it did for you?
So sometimes I feel like maybe because he didn't have his dad around, he might not know how to relate to my son as much. Yes, I think it could affect the relationship potentially.
Potentially as well. It could also be that because you didn't have a dad, or you didn't grow up with, you're trying to overcompensate for that. So it could go both ways, and it's a balancing thing. So again, off the bat, you could, if you begin to talk to your brother, your spouse, in this case, marriage couple, that family background is a big difference. I'm going to use our own family background. So when we were growing up, one of the things that you have to do, and I would encourage you to do, is to spend time unpacking that background. It is one of the major things that cause problems. Why? Because we make a lot of assumptions about, because I grew up this way, this is how the world is. You see what I mean? You grow up this way, so you think this is the way the world is. And therefore you bring that into your relationships without telling the other person that this is what is in your brain. So it causes problems. That's one way. And I wish I had time to go into it a bit more. But when you have time and you need to talk in Wednesday night meeting and so on, this is one of them that you must pray for. Causing a lot of problems because the background is dividing us a lot more. Number 2, gender, male and female. Does that cause problems in our families and in the church? Yes. All right, we have lots of males and we have lots of females. I'm going to ask a male, how does it cause a difference, male and female, in the church? Anything?
I think maybe gender roles, because sometimes you grow up in an environment where women are supposed to do like this and they can't do this, and other people think that no, there's no such differences, so it can cause conflict.
That's exactly, you know it already. The assumption again is the roles that a woman or a female should play and the roles that a man should play in the home. And it's compounded by if your family did it. So if your father was the main one in my family, my father did a lot of the cooking and the cleaning. It was different. He reversed. So he was almost like the wife, and my mother sometimes wasn't there and was not. So I grew up with, that's what a husband does. You clean the house, and my wife don't, what are you doing? I'm getting into decorating and getting it because that is what my father did. I want to have some say in it because the gender roles were different in my background, so it's compounded. But you're absolutely right, my sister. The expectation in the family is that there are certain things that a man should do and there are certain things that a woman should do. Let me give an example. If there is an insect in the house, whose responsibility is it to get the insect? Who said so? You see what I mean? Who said so? Who said so? Who said so? Yeah, he's the protector. If an insect, he's protecting the wife from the insect. I mean, of course, I hear you. But that's an expectation. Not saying it's right or wrong. It's an expectation. Now, what if the man is scared of the insect? What if the man is afraid of the insect? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, right? So the expectation is that he's the protector. Sorry for the men sometimes, all right? But that's an example. I'm going to go to the clip now. I'm going to show you a clip. And what I want to do in this workshop, can you tell me one of the differences you realize between the man and the woman in this clip? It's an activity, so you have to now use your observation skills. You're going to have to look, No talking. We will only show it once because I don't have a lot of time. And I want to use your observation skills and tell me what is the difference you see between the man and the woman. Are we together? I'm going to ask the AV team if you can change the slide and put up the other slide. Run the clip.
There's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. And I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head. And it's relentless. And I don't know if it's gonna stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever gonna stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
Yeah, see, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just... Sometimes it's like there's this achy... I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
Yeah, that sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Oh, come on. Ow. If you would just...
Don't...
Try to see things my way. Do I have to keep on talking?
You know this one? You must have seen it. It's a very popular clip. You've never seen it, but it's very popular. It's not about the nail. Now, observation skills. I want to help me. What is the big difference between the man and the woman in that clip? Anybody wants to help me? Your observation skills. Use your observation skills. What was the issue? They did it in a very funny way, but what was the issue? There's a sister here. Please, my sister, tell me, what did you observe? This is a workshop. Say it out loud.
It's a woman's cycle.
Huh?
Woman's cycle.
The woman's cycle. So you're seeing some deep things. The woman's cycle. That's very true. Sometimes the woman, because of how physiologically she's made up, has to go through different cycles in life, and it causes a problem. That's true. She could have been having one of those moments. My dear sister, tell us again. What did you observe in that one?
So the man was practical to remove the nail.
The man's perspective was a practical one. Was to what? Remove the nail. Because the men tend to want to do things. What do they want to do when there's a problem? The men's job is to fix things alongside the protector. The other thing is, men are expected always. If you come to a man, they want to fix things. But what was she saying? So her perspective was not to fix it. What did she want? She wants somebody to listen. And immediately, you could see them developing a little bit of a tension, because he's, as a man, oriented to fix things, and she's saying, it's not about fixing it. I just want you to listen. Hey. So you see, yes.
I think it gives the idea that sometimes women don't want to fix problem, they just want to always have something to complain about. Don't you think so? I think because she didn't want to hear what the real problem was. Yes. But the moment she just wanted him to do what she want him to do.
But the truth of it is, that is how women are. Yeah, it is that what is.
The thing is, yes, she's going through these emotions, and he's actually rolling his eyes because the symptoms that she's having is because of the nail.
Yes.
So just take the nail out,
yes,
and you solve your problem. Yes. That's how he sees it.
Yes. It's very, very practical. It's very practical. And you can see, yes, I see you.
Well, I think the man used Christ's method, which is he was trying to minister to her physical need first before he can minister to the emotional need.
And all the men
and I think it's telling, because not everything is emotional.
Yes, very interesting.
It should be, I should say.
Yes, sir.
And I think also when the man wanted to, as you said, to solve the problem of removing the nail, when she couldn't allow him, he lost interest in listening to her, because he was saying, I know where the problem is, just allow me to deal with the problem and you'll be okay.
Yes. You're saying exactly what you should say. But that's not the issue. The issue is, what's the issue? She just wants him to listen. You need to get this one, man. This is all of what you're saying is Christ's method. It's a physical. She just wants him to.
It's quite distracting with a nail in front of you.
That's exactly that's why the video works, because it's so obvious. So imagine now the wife says, I'm having problems at work, and she comes home from work and she's having problems with her boss at work.
Don't take it out.
Replay it now. What does the husband do? He starts going into, well, let us do, and he starts beginning to try to fix the problem. She's not interested in that at that time. She just wants him to. This one, man, this one is for you. Like myself, I'm included in it. True. Our natural thing as men is to try to rush in, to do that protecting, caring. We do it. That's how God made us. But we have to kind of think through how it affects relationship. And in the family, she just wants you to listen. Now, let's go a little further now. How does it play out in church? Gender. How does it play out in the church situation? Can anybody give me any example of how that gender difference, we only picked one, how does it play out in the church situation? Men and women. Anybody? This you have to think now. Same situation. On the board, in Sabbath school class, how does it play out? Huh? The men keep silent and the women speak. It's a very good one. So what happens is in church, women tend to be very, very vocal. And the men, in many contexts, tend to be the ones who sort of not talking. Because the woman's gender naturally is very expressive and they'll say what is on their mind. In church, the men tend to withdraw a little bit. Is that a good thing for church? Because we need to hear from our men. Another way it plays out in church, programs that are being provided. So when you ask for a retreat, okay, a singles retreat, who turns up?
The ladies.
Who turn up?
The ladies.
Why do women turn up? And what happened to the men? Do you understand what I'm? So the family life department spend a lot of money and they prepare a nice retreat and then all the women come and none of the men. Is the gender difference showing up there again? You see? So in the family life team, you'll have to then think, what would the men engage with, and so on and so on and so on. But the point I'm making is the differences are playing out right in our lives, in our families, and sometimes it's causing us problems and we're not realizing it. Last one. And I'll spend most of the time on this third one, because this is the one that I think probably more comprehensively, so the family life team could spend more time on the gender. There's some fantastic books on the gender one. The best one I can tell you, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Oh my gosh. It's such a very good book. No, forget the name. The concepts are quite good. The concepts are good, and I recommend that one to you. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And they have it now in different ages. So you have it, Men Are From Mars for little children, they have it for adults, they have it for married couple. You should go and read it. I read it for a lot of the time when I was getting into courtship and so on, because it gave me an insight of what my issues are as a male and how the woman would see them. Okay. But the one that I want to spend a little bit more time on is temperaments. Now, we're going to talk a bit about that one because that one plays out a lot in church, and I think it doesn't. And I've never done a workshop on this one. I've done sermons on it, but never done a workshop. So it's a first time for me for this one. Let's see if we can go on a little bit. So the point here is the differences are a part of our lives, but can we still have a happy family life and a happy church life? Despite differences? Despite what the world is telling us about, it's not possible because you're either labor or conservative. You're either immigrant or not. The world is telling us a different message. In church, we must counteract that to say, despite our differences, we can still have happy because, and we'll see why. How do we do this? This is what this session is all about. Are we still together? So help me to read now. So I have a few slides here I'm trying to convince you. In the workshop, this is the part where I'm trying to convince you that what we are saying makes sense. And I'm going to use some quotations from Ellen White to help me to do this. They're going to help me read through. Now, first one. Life will be happier, hear what she says. life will be happier and more productive if we understand something about our own temperaments and those with whom we associate. What did she say? Sister White is saying, your life can be, who wants a happier life? Who wants a more productive life? She says your life can be happier if you understand something about your temperaments. Interesting. Then the next one says, Gospel Workers, page 208, same quotation. Not all can be helped in the same way. Listen to this one now, I underline it. God deals with each according to his. So in the church, God deals with each of us based on our temperament. This is an eye-opening one. He deals with us based on our temperament and the character you have. And we must cooperate with him. So the obvious question here is, what is my temperament? Isn't it? So I'm guessing everybody knows, since this is so important, Sister White wrote it down, Gospel Workers, page 208. Everybody would well know, this is my temperament. This is the problem we have. That's why I'm dealing with this one. Gender is obvious, family background is easy, temperament, not so easy. So I spend the time on this one. Let me go further, making the case for this one. Next one, read this one with me. While parents who have the fear of God in them restrain their children, that they should, listen what it says, while parents who have the fear of God in them restrain their children, they should do what? In red, study their disposition and their, this is for parent and child, daddy and daughter, father and son. It says sometimes you're restraining your children, then look at the other one. Some things it seems as if everything is going wrong in the parenting. There is fretfulness all around. People are miserable and everybody's unhappy. And there's lots of crying and shouting and all kind of things. Listen to what Sister White says. The parents lay the blame upon the poor children. You're disobedient. You're not listening to your mother. What parents are going on. And they think the children disobedient and unruly. The worst children in the world. Listen to what Sister White says. Testimonies, volume 1, page 384. The cause of the disturbance is in who? Sister White is here simply saying, sometimes because you don't understand your child's temperament, you are placing the blame on the child, when actually you should study their disposition and temperament. She is putting the responsibility not on the child, the dependent child, the small child, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 12, 8, up to 18. Don't put the responsibility on the child. She puts the responsibility on the parent to study the child's disposition. Wow. So the obvious question again is, what is my child's temperament? I just asked you what was their favorite meal. What was their favorite food? And we struggle. Imagine temperament. You see what I'm doing is what the session is about? Let's go a little further. One more, probably one more. In church, so she didn't stop. The topic here says, how does family and church bring, this is what the brief was, huh? I'm following a brief. You said, bring the church to home and home. That's what I'm doing, right? In the church, what does he say? Listen to this one now. Gospel Workers, page 473. We differ so much with our disposition, our habits, and our education, that our ways of looking at things vary. We judge differently. Our understanding of truth or ideas in regard to conduct of life are not all in respect the same. There are no two whose experience is alike in every particular. The trials of one are not the trials of another. The duties that one finds delight in are to another most difficult and perplexing. What is she saying there? What is she saying there? In church, people are very, very different. You can't expect the experiences of one to be the same expectation of the other. Their dispositions are different. Very different. Sister White is saying here, you can't expect it to be in church. I'm still making the case. One last one. Here's what she says. Testimonies volume 4 about the matter now, before we get into working on it. We all need to do what? Study. When you're studying something, what do you do? When you're studying the Bible, how do you study the Bible? You spend time doing it. You spend time, take up your Bible every morning, every evening. On Sabbath morning, we spend how much time? Sabbath school is like an hour long, 45 minutes. You study the Bible. We have Bible study so many times. You study, you go line upon line. Listen to what she said. We all need to study the character, and manner that we may not know how to deal judiciously with different minds. That we may use our best endeavors to help them to correct understanding of God's word. The person must be shown his true character, understand his own peculiarities of disposition and temperament, and see his infirmities. Listen to this one. What she's saying here is, in church, it is quite possible that you have missed out on how to deal with the different members because you haven't studied that disposition and character. She's still making the case that even in church, it does make a huge difference. So let's go into personal reflection now. Obviously, the question will be, number one, what is my temperament? And number two, what is the temperament of the people in my family? And number three, how does it affect us in family or in church? Are we still together? Does Sister White make sense? Huh? You have a question. The obvious question is, what is the temperament? That's the obvious question. That's your hand there. Preston has a hand. Preston, I hope it's a serious hand. That's the question you have. Oh, that's the question you have. You can ask it. Ask it, yes. Yes. That's our emotional response, our behavior, our personality. That's what we'll be talking about. So I have some exercises. I want some help now. I didn't know if I bring enough. So what I want to do now, we're going to spend a little time. So if you're a child, I have an exercise for you. We're going to spend a little time discovering roughly what is your temperament. So for children, I have this one here. It's for children, that is for under 12. And there's another one for the adults. Now, I'm going to take a few minutes of your time because when we do workshops, I don't want to leave here just with a lot of talk. I want to leave here with something in your mind that you have discovered either about yourself or your family. Are we together? It's a workshop. They said a workshop. They didn't say preach. So I'm not preaching. It's a workshop, so I want you to work. So if all the children, somebody can help me. All the children under 12, I want to take this one up, and I'm going to help you to do it. All the adults, I think I have, you told me about 30. So I think I have about 30. I have about 30. So the adults, you can give these ones for the adults. Okay. Yeah, this one, this set. Take one. So the kids are this one, and the adults this one. And then you have some pens. Now, please, everybody, this is where you're going to work. It's a workshop. It's not sermon, right? So adults, take one of the adult one. Children under 12, take one. And I'm going to work you through. You can start working as you get it. What it is it's an assessment. I'm trying to help. We're going to try and see if we can help you identify roughly what is your temperament. So you can either spend the time doing it now, which I want you to do, or spend some more time doing it at home more better when you get home, okay? So take one for the children under 12 and one for the adults. Now, when you get it, adults, it says you're going to read through about 20 statements, and you're going to try and tell me whether you strongly agree or disagree with each of those statements. So you're going to spend some time. Church is sometimes just preaching, but not enough teaching. So a little bit of teaching will be in this one. So every adult, take one, as much as I have. Every child under 12, there's one for you. For the children, it's the same thing, but you have smiley faces. So you try and fill it out yourself. Children, parents with the children, help them to finish it up. Then we're going to see if we can discover in church what temperaments you have different from the others. Now, as soon as you have them, don't start. I'm going to walk you through one more thing. Once you get them, let me know. Let's go through quickly. You're running out? Okay. If you're running out, tell me. I don't know. All right, so don't start. If you can start reading, but don't start yet unless you're okay with it. I'm going to give you some more guidance. So children under 12, you need more? I wonder if I have some more. Let me see. I don't think so. Yeah? Oh, they're going to make some more copies. I think they're going to make some copies. All right. Yes, please. You're going to help him. All right. So while we're working on that, All right. So your temperaments, this is the classic temperaments now. There are 4 basic temperaments, 4 ways, 4 personality types we have in church, 4 personality types you have in your families, 4 main ones. I want you to spend some time answering the questions that you have on the sheet without too much stress. Okay? So you're going to go through each question. And for the adults, let me do the adults first. Okay. So if you have your pen and your paper, you're going to read through the statements that are there. So the first set is decision making and leadership. So you're going to look at the question number 1, the statement number 1. I make decisions quickly and with confidence. If that's you, fully, you say you strongly agree. You put the number 5. That statement. So number 1, if that's really you, I make decisions quickly and with confidence, you put number 5. Strongly agree. If it's not really you, but you're not sure, you probably could put 2, disagree. If you really totally disagree, you put 1. So there's a grade there. 1 means strongly disagree, 5 means you strongly agree. So you go through each one and you fill in, you answer them. Just take a few minutes and you go through each one. Number 2, do the same thing. I often look to others for input before making decisions. Is that a strongly agree for you or totally disagree, number 1? So you put the numbers beside each of the statements. Okay, let's take our time. So number 1, you read the statement and you put 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 based on how you see yourself on this one. Okay, Sister Norton, so you're going to read this one. And you're going to put a number, 1 to 5. Do you strongly agree with this statement or not? Do you strongly agree or you disagree or one of these numbers? You put the number. Okay? Let me go. If you need some help, I'm coming around. You don't have a paper yet. It's coming, it's coming. They told me the number, I didn't think I was. You need some help? They're photocopying more. So if you go through, read number 1, and you put the number beside it, yes, and you do number 2, and you do the same. Correct. You go through each number, and the children the same. So so this means, this is what the circles mean. So this one, the smiley faces mean this. So for the children, I like to make decisions fast, and I don't like waiting. Is it very much like you? You put this, you circle it. And that's 3 points. If it's a little like you, it's 2 points. Do you understand? You go to each one. Everybody else, you get it? Are you there? You get it? Very good, very good. So what you could do is to put what number this represents. This is not like it. Pen. You put 0 here too, okay? All right. So we should be working. I'm going to give you a few minutes to work it through. When you leave here, you should leave at least with a basic understanding of your temperament. So you're leaving with a little bit of a knowledge if you didn't have it before. Yeah, they're waiting for more. Okay. Whew. Okay. Taking some time for personal reflection. Think about it. Take your time. If you need some help, raise your hand. Yes, I'll come to you. So answer each one, you know. Answer each one. Five at the top here, and then you do the second one, same, 5. Next one, do the second one. I often look yourself. All right? So you go through that one. Go, Pet. First one, get used. Go, Sister Norton. All right, good. Okay. Your mom, you have to help him after. If you need some help, raise your hand. Apart from those who don't have. Are you okay? Are you children okay? What you could do, yes, add up the numbers now. So what does this one represent? Look here, you put the number beside it. And add up all the numbers when you finish. So put the number, what does the smiley face represent? Which number? Which point? How many points you give each one? You put the point beside it. Then you're gonna, when you finish that, you let me know. So keep going, go through each statement, and then you put those numbers for each statement. So you have to answer all 24 statements for the adults and all 12 for the children. Take your time. It's for you to reflect. You have to put the number beside them, Sister Norton. It only works if you put the number beside each one. Yes? All right. Some people are moving really well. You need a pen to help him?
He's got a pen.
Okay. Take your time. Some over there? Or there's some over here as well? Okay, so let's go again. So you go through every single statement. Take a minute. It's a reflection piece. As soon as you go through it, you put a number beside it for all of them. For the children, use the smiley faces. You got this? You put the number for this one. What's the number for the second one? Put it on the side. What's the number? 5 for this one. What about the second one? Number 2. Which one? Do you strongly agree with this one? I often look to others for input before you make this. You get some help from others. Keep going if you're almost there. You have to answer every single statement. I'm coming to you, sir. All right, let's go. So you answer every statement. part one. That will be each one. So each one, part one. Lesson one for part one. Number three, part two. What is the answer for number three? All right, let's go again. So if you, everybody should have their paper now. Let's go through for the adults one more time. Ready now? Yes. Still. Yes.
So we add all of these.
Oh yes, now you finished. You finished already.
Yeah.
Okay, so you followed here now. You're gonna add up.
How do we add
so
them?
number 1, 5, whatever your score for number 1, 5, 9, 3. You add those up. So look for number 1. Question 1. What was your number? 1. So you add each one as per that, because the question. You see?
Yeah,
And then for number, for the second one, for number 5, what was your answer? So you're gonna add those numbers. So for 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, and 12, what was your answer? You add those up. Right. Okay, so we're going to go over now again in groups so everybody can hear. So the adults should have this sheet, and you're going to answer whether you strongly agree or disagree from 1 to 5. All right? You're going to take each question at a time, and you're going to answer it. So number 1 on the decision making and leadership. I make decisions quickly and with confidence. Is that a strongly agree for you? Agree. 4. 3, neutral. 2, disagree. 1, strongly disagree. You put the number beside it. It depends on how you feel. Number 2, I often look to others for input before making decisions. Is that a strongly agree for you? You strong? Yes, that's me. Strongly agree. That's not really me. I agree, but not 100%. I don't really know. That's neutral. That's not me. Strongly disagree. You put a 1. Number 3, you go through like that. I prefer to carefully analyze situations before deciding. Is that really you? Then you put a 5. If it's not you, you say strongly disagree, 1, or somewhere in between. I avoid making this, number 4, I avoid making decisions if they might upset someone. Is that you? If you think that's you, then you say, okay, I do avoid making decisions. I put strongly agree, 5. That's not me, absolutely not me. I don't do that. You put a 1, and so forth. You'd have finished one section. So you keep going like that. It's kind of asking if you know yourself. That is the issue. I'm going to come to that. That is the issue. Do you really know yourself? That's the issue. So that's what we're going to go through. So take your time. And the children too, this is the challenge we have of knowing ourselves. We're going to come to it. But go through each one. Yes. All right. Some people are getting here. When you finish, let me know. Raise your hand, and I'll just, yes, finish. Very good. Now, let me see at the back now. So when you finish, Sister Maluba, what you do now, wonderful. Then you're going to look for your answers. What was your number for 1, 5, 9, 13? So when you finish now, you're going to go to the last part. You're going to go to the scoring instructions. If you finish all of it, like what we said, you're going to go to the scoring instructions. There you will see the 4 temperaments and the questions or the statements that align to those ones. So in the end here, my sister, you'll see here, choleric questions are number 1, 5, 9. So let's go to number 1. What was your answer for number 1? What was your number for number 1? 2. So you're going to put 2, write down 2. 2, write down 2 beside it there. So your answer for number 1 was 2. Yes. Plus, what was your answer for number 5? Number 5 was 2. Yes. Plus, yeah, plus 2, yes. Plus, again, what was your answer for number 9? And so forth. Then you add them up for each section. All right, you getting to Mr. Norton? All right, take your time. So take your time, go through. You finish? Finish? Okay, so you're, did you finish all of them? So look now, so your number, yes, so you are sanguine. Okay. You finished, did you add up? Whoa, so so you have Your dominant one seems to be melancholy, but you also have very strong, which is, I'll explain some of this one, but the overwhelming one is melancholy. It's good. All right. How many people are you getting there? All right. So once we get there, one more, yes? No, one number. Good, very good. Now you can start reading your way now, so you can circle your dominant one, which seems to be sanguine, and then we're going to read through and see. Yeah? So some people are finishing, and the discovery is going to come through in a minute. So if you're finished, all right. All right, well, raise your hand if you're finishing. I see some hands finishing. There's some children. Children at the side there. Children, you finished? Very good. I want you to come up here. Children, come up, because yours was shorter. Come up, children. Come up, children. All the children who completed theirs. Come up. Carry your paper with you. All the children that finished. The children finished before the adults. Carry your papers with you. Come. All right, come, children. All of you finished? Let me see if you're finished. Did your parents help you to do the tally? No, you haven't finished, my sister. Add up the ones at the back. Finish? Yes, finish. Let me see. Yes, finish. Very good. Come, children. Come. Sit down. All the children, sit down. All right. So the children are all finished. Hold it. You need to hold it. Let me see if you're finished at the back. All right. No, you haven't finished. Show them how to add up the back. Okay. All the children finish at the back. If you help him, is he finished? No, he hasn't. Yes, finish. Those who haven't finished, you have a little bit more to do. Help him. You know. Oh, you don't. You haven't finished either. Jude, come and help this one. Help. They'll show you how to add up the back. You got it? All right. Circle one that is the largest number. Oh, you haven't finished yet. All right. Finish. Let me see the back. I haven't finished at the back. Come round. Come and listen how you do it. So you get it? So when you finish now, you're going to add up all the numbers. So for number one, look. So for number one, part one, what was the number? One plus one, you keep going like that. What is number one, part 3? What is number one, part 4? Do you see? All right, adults, are you finished? The children finished already. The adults are still working hard. This is a workshop, yes. We work in workshops. You finished? Good. What is your dominant one? What's the number here? Huh? 9 points. Good point. So help the others to finish theirs. So what is your temperament? What's your temperament? Which one? Sanguine? Which one is yours? Which one is your biggest number? All of them have 8. Oh, that's very interesting. You, Preston. Sanguine is your dominant one. Which is yours? Biggest number? 2 of them. You have 2. So you're both sanguine and phlegmatic. And you're still working. All right. Adults, how many adults finished now? I see some adults finishing. Very good. And you did only one at the back. All right, we're going to make some progress now. So what I want you to do now, I'm going to do you finished? Yes, you're not finished yet. You'll do it later. All right. We're going to make, all right, so give me 1 more minute and then we're going to make some progress. Once you've done this part, the rest of it is easy now. Because we're going to see what does the difference this makes in your church and in your family. Okay? So let's go now. Children, all done? All right, ready? So the next, let me see, any adults left still working? There's some still working, it's fine. We're going to make some progress now. Now, what we're going to do now is I want, if you have been identified as a sanguine, let me see, what's the first one on the page? Sorry, let me see the first one on the page is, if you were identified, your dominant number, so the biggest number you had was, okay, sanguine. I want you to come over this side of the church. So if your biggest number was sanguine, you stay here. You would have seen it up here. He hasn't helped him to finish. He's not finished yet. If you were sanguine, I want you to come over here. Sanguine, any sanguines in the church? Yeah, come over here. Yeah, man, you're here already. Come up here. You're going to have to move now. Sanguine, stay here. If you're sanguine, stay here. Come up to the front. Sanguines. When you add up your numbers, sanguines come up here. Your largest, if you have two, stay with the biggest one. You can do it both. You can do both. So you can stay here. Sanguines, come here. The next one. Melancholy. Melancholic. If you are melancholic, come over here. So your dominant one was melancholic. Come up here. You're here. Yes, man. Very good. Melancholic. Come up here. Very good. So I'm still working. If you were, so melancholy, sanguine, melancholy over there, sanguine. You will see the numbers. All right. For the next one, phlegmatic. If you are phlegmatic, come and sit down here. Come up here, phlegmatic. Come up here, man. Come up here. Come. You have to move. Come up. You look like you're phlegmatic, no? Phlegmatic, you can't move. Yes, question. Yes, you have more than one.
I am 21 for free and 19.
That's good. I'll explain that one as well. It is possible. So pick one. Pick one.
How do you use the score?
So you pick one. So number one, question one. In part one, what was the score? 0. So you put 0. And this side, just add it up. You're going to just add it up. And then number 3, part 2. What was this number? Number 3 in part 2 is 0. So put 0. And so forth. You're adding it, right? One more. So what's your dominant one? 25. So your dominant one is 25. Yes. So let's go again. So we have over here sanguine people. Let me hear you say hello. Hello, sanguine. Over this side we have melancholy. Let me hear you say hello. Over here we have phlegmatic. Not so much. Let me hear you say hello. Not so much. And then the last one is choleric. Any choleric, come right over here. Oh, you're here. Okay, that's where you are. All right, good. So this is choleric over there. Yes. Very interesting. So let's go again. Sanguine people over here. Melancholy over here. Phlegmatic over there and choleric over there. Very interesting. Children, which one are you? Where are you? You're still lost?
I didn't understand.
You didn't understand. Help her. You're bigger than 26, so you're choleric over there. Yes. All right, we're going to make some progress now. Now, time is not with me. I have half an hour. Huh? No. What happened is, no man, some of the children are sanguines too. There's more. Yeah. Sanguine. All right. So remember now, our Sister White said, you're which one? Sanguine. Sister White said, if we studied our temperaments, life could be a little bit happier and more productive. So we're just going down that pathway. We won't cover everything today. We're just starting to go down that journey. She said, if you did, your life could be a little happier. That's what she said. It's not me saying it. Huh? So that's what we're doing today. All right. Let's make some progress. So in your, okay, let me go to a little bit. Let's make some progress. So for choleric, are we together? That's my group over there. Choleric, let me hear the choleric. Say hello. The only woman. So for the cholerics, let's listen to them now. Now for the choleric temperament, they tend to be now you must, in your mind, what I want you to know, think through whether this actually is you. Because it's a reflection. I want you to be thinking. The other way you could do this is when you go home, speak to your mother, your daughter, your wife, whoever. Because there must be some kind of affirmation. So sometimes you can't even see yourself. So you need somebody to help you to see yourself. So you ask them, is this really me? Let's go through now. So for the choleric over there, they tend to be very driven and bold. And they are leaders. They have strong determination. They are action-oriented. They are goal-focused. They're assertive. They inspire others. Yes? Is that you still? Yes. It's them. They say it's them. All right, that's good. Sanguine. Let me hear the sanguines. Sanguines, say hello. All right, we have a lot of sanguines. Which actually, if you look at the global SDA statistics, our church tends to attract a lot of. Very interesting. You should go and do it, because for evangelism, there's a whole other section about evangelism, but that's not for today. Our church tends to attract a lot of people who are sanguines, and the question will be why. We will see. But sanguines, social, fun-loving, enthusiastic. The sanguine is marked by love for social interaction. They are often the life of the party. When a sanguine goes in, the thing's nice, man. The sanguine's nice at the place. They bring energy and excitement to their relationships. Is that still you? Yeah, really, that's good to know. However, they may be a bit impulsive. They do something sometimes without thinking sometimes. Very interesting, very interesting. Melancholy, let me hear the melancholy. Over here. Yes. The melancholy now, very thoughtful personality. Very sensitive, detailed oriented. Yes, man. The melancholy, they are defined by depth. The depth of thought. You're always thinking. I'll go through some more. They value quality and can be perfectionists. They can be what? Perfectionists. Is that you? Really? That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Listen now. Their introspective nature means that they may need time to process and express their feelings. Yes. Last one. The phlegmatic. Any phlegmatics in the house? That's over there, some up there. Hello, I see you. They are very calm and peaceful. And they are easygoing. These people want peace in their life. They want peace in their life. They're very laid back. They can't take the stress. Yes? Okay. They're patient and they're good listeners. They prefer to avoid conflict and are very dependable. However, they may struggle with assertiveness. They're not going to jump out at you and volunteer for stuff all the time. So the first test is, listen now, children, do you see yourself? How many children were sanguine? Raise your hand. Sanguine? Lots of sanguines. Children, you're still developing, huh? How many of you were melancholy? Not so much. Thoughtfulness is not you yet. Choleric? Not you yet. Yes, that's expected. Phlegmatic. So the children at this age are only now, the fun of life is what they enjoy, going out and being with their friends. So it's perfectly expected. Did anybody have very close scores at the end? You have two that are very close. Yes, ma'am, tell us about it.
So I'm choleric as well as melancholy.
Right, so for the adults, as you grow up, your personality you take on more. So sometimes as you have grown up, in your work, you might have to be forced to be a choleric. But when you get home, you are very laid back. So as an adult, it is not surprising if your scores are kind of simple because you're a complex individual. We are complex human beings, right? So don't be, if you have many who are, some of us are very complex. Very complex. So that is why it's difficult when you come to church or in family life. Let's go further. I'm going to further help you to unpack this one. Another way to see these groups are, listen now, and I want to help me now. Extroverts. These are the outward-looking people. These are very sanguine and choleric are extroverts. They are very always outgoing. Outgoing. You love going out, love meeting people, love potlucks. If that's you, then you're an extrovert as well. The other groups are introverts. They love, yes? You want to say something? Yes, my dear sister.
I only was going to say I tied with those two, but I don't think I'm those two.
Well, that's why you need to affirm it with your family as well. All right, let's go again. Then we go one more. Introverts. Introverts are the people who love, they're not so outgoing. They love being at home. Both the melancholy and phlegmatic are introverts. So another way to look at this is whether you're extroverts or introverts. That's another phrase, but same thing. I'm just giving you another way of looking at yourself. All right, quiz time. Ready for the quiz? All right, hear this quiz now. Quiz time. Now, there are 4 questions in my quiz. How many questions? 4 questions. Now, the quiz is called, Who Am I? What is the quiz called? Who am I? All right. Now, what I'm going to do in this quiz, I'm going to give you a Bible character with some clues, and I want you to identify, number 1, who is the Bible character, and number 2, what is their temperament. I'm trying to see if you understand the concepts. Are we together? All right, are you ready for the quiz? Everybody ready? No shouting, all right? Ready? Question number 1. Listen now, who am I? This man was known for his fiery personality, his unwavering determination. He faced persecution and hardship, but remained focused on his mission. He boldly confronted other leaders when necessary and wrote letters that shaped the early church. Who was he? Who was he? All right, so the answer is B. It was Saul who became Paul. All right. Hardest part of the question now. What was his temperament? What was his temperament? What was his temperament? What was his temperament? Come again. Let's look at it again. Listen now. He was a fiery personality, unwavering determination. He faced persecution, but he remained focused. What is he? He's a what? He's a what? Choleric. Very good. Very good. That was Paul. Paul was a choleric in the Bible. Number 2, who am I? Number 2, who am I? Number 2, this man doubted his own abilities, was initially reluctant to take on leadership. He was deeply sensitive to the needs and struggles of his people and sometimes became frustrated with them. He paid careful attention to details and was concerned with doing things correctly. Who is this one? Who is this one? Who is this one? Everybody agrees it is Moses? Is it Abraham? He doubted his abilities. Huh? He became frustrated with the people. You think it's Moses? You think it sounds like Moses? Okay, what was his temperament? What was his temperament? Let's look at the description again. Which one? Melancholy. All right, remember this one. Remember this one. We're going to go back and see. Let's go. Number 3. Number 3. Number 3. A patient and peaceful nature. This man trusted God's promises, even when it seemed afar off. He was calm and non-confrontational. He preferred to avoid conflict, seeking peaceful resolutions to problems, such as when he let his nephew choose the best land. Who are we talking about? Who am I? Abraham. What was his temperament? Which one? Phlegmatic, easygoing, avoiding conflict. All right, very good. Let's go to the next one. Last one. Number 4. What is the description? Who am I? Known for being spontaneous and sometimes impulsive. This man spoke or acted before thinking. He was passionate in his loyalty to Jesus. Yes, he showed moments of emotional vulnerability. After his transformation, he became a bold leader, preaching with great conviction and leading the early church. Who are we talking about? You sure? All right, here's the tricky part now. What temperament? So Peter is a complicated one because he started off as sanguine and later became a choleric. You got it right. So in his early part of his Christian journey, the impulsiveness, remember he took up the knife and this one, he did what? Cut off the man's ear. When they say, who want to go walk on water without thinking? That's sanguine through and through. So let me start with Peter. So Peter, you know, all these personalities, these are some of the qualities. I'm going to reaffirm them. Friendly, sanguine, attracts people, generous, compassionate. If that's you, he light up a room. Natural storytellers. When a sanguine is telling a story, everybody lean in because they tell a good story. We're coming to this one. But he lacked the willpower, remember? Jesus had to ask him 3 times, Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Remember Sister White says Jesus deals with us based on our temperament. He didn't ask everybody the same question. He was dealing with Peter based on who Peter was, his temperament. Interesting, huh? Next one. All right, next one. So in church now, I'm supposed to do in church. So when a sanguine comes to church, what does sanguine want church to be like? Sanguines, you're here. When you come to church, what do sanguines want the church to be like? Lively, yes. So for sanguine, a great church service is a lively church service. It's a church service where they get to meet and greet and have potluck. Because the sanguine this is them. It's important they leave church. They come to church joyful and they want to leave joyful. That's the sanguine. So hear me now. So if one day the church service is not a sanguine service, what happened to the sanguine? Church boring to the brother. It can be, huh? Yes. They're not there on that day. Which is why what you do in the home needs to be brought into church. So the leaders and pastors must program church to meet to meet the various needs in the population. Every Sabbath can't be let's have a happy Sabbath day. Because only the sanguines would be. Are we still together? Are we still together? You get it. You get it. All right. Peter, we know Peter. Let's go to choleric. Positive, strong-willed, born leader. Are they there? Very optimistic, full of ideas. Can be a bit self-sufficient because they're so great at it. Can show tantrum sometimes when they don't get their way. Can be a bit assertive but also independent. And we're talking about Paul here. Very strong-willed. You know, in order for Jesus to get his attention, what did Jesus have to do with him on the Damascus road? Had to lick him off his horse. In order to see, he didn't do it with everybody. Remember, Jesus deals with us based on our character. And he doesn't deal with everybody the same. He had to take Paul off his horse and put him flat on his back for him to get, that's the choleric. Very determined. That's how Jesus dealt with him. For them, what is the greatest thing in church? To write their prayer journals. Man, they respond to Bible class, spiritual insights. Paul, you want to have great church? Have a church when they're learning new things, man. Teach something. Spiritual prophecy. If every day was that for choleric, Bible class, they're the ones always in Bible class so many times. If church was always for choleric, what would happen to the sanguines? Probably wouldn't like it a lot. So Paul, now the melancholic. Moses was the one. Gifted, very sensitive, perfectionist. Does not put himself forward, always sitting at the back, you have to really pull them out. Faithful, can be a bit moody, very loyal, can be discouraged easily at times. That was Moses. In them, pray about everything. Man, these are the people very fervent in their faith. They take their faith very seriously, not because it's just because of who they are. They're thinkers. So they spend long times in their personal family life and so on. Again, church can't be like that for everybody. Do you get the point? Moses said, and if you have people like this, I don't have any talents. I don't know enough. I can't speak. This is Moses. This is the melancholy. And then the last one is phlegmatic. Very easygoing. Paul, his nephew wanted, for peace sake, you go. Very indecisive. Abraham. Yes, very relaxed, very practical. But for them, they want church to be a peaceful, nice place. When the church having conflict, even on the board, they withdraw in. They don't like that. They will give up their own right for a peaceful church. They tend to procrastinate about them. So the point here is, I hope you get the point now, your temperament, using the Bible characters, actually has a lot to do with how you relate in your family as well as in church. So we're going to conclude with a real test situation. 1 or 2 case studies. Now look at the board and I want you to just tell me what jumps out at you. Case study number 1. This is a family with different temperaments, who are planning to go for a vacation. Ooh. Listen to the story now. And I want you to tell me what advice you would give to this family. Are we ready? Workshop time. Now, the choleric father is planning a family vacation. He wants everything to be scheduled to maximize their time. He created a detailed itinerary. He expects everyone to follow it strictly. The father, you got the father? The sanguine mother, on the other hand, wants to go with the flow. She doesn't want the vacation to feel like work. The melancholy child is anxious about the travel. The child wants to stay at home because they don't want anything to go wrong. And the phlegmatic son doesn't care where they go, as long as everybody is happy. And he feels overwhelmed by what is happening between his parents. What advice would you give this family? What advice would you give them? Stay. What advice? Advise them. Can you suggest some ways that how can they make this vacation work? Help me out. How can they make this vacation work? Number one.
Plan together.
Number one, so if this family is there, what can they do together? She says, plan together. Why plan together? Because everybody can get something. The father can explain why he thinks he wants to have a bit of structure. The wife can put in some, just go with the flow. The melancholy son can be reassured that everything is not going to fall apart. And the phlegmatic son will be happy because there's peace. It's a good idea. You're a good advisor. Do you see the point? So what I want you to do, these are case studies of real situations. These are real situations. I just didn't put the names. Because what I want you to do is you have to think now. See your family life as if you're looking into it. See how your temperaments are causing conflict. And just as how you're advising this case study family, there's an answer for your family too. Are we together? You get it? Case study number 2. All right, let's do it. We're going to do only 3 and then I have to wrap up. This is a church example. Ooh. Watch this one now. In church, in a church planning meeting, this is a worship case study. The sanguine leader wants a highly energetic and spontaneous worship style on Sabbath. Are we still there? Because for the sanguine, church is lively. Church, they come happy and they want to leave happy. So church must be a lively place. Listen now. The melancholy pastor prefers a very structured and reflective service. He feels that the service worship leader, the service must have reverence, man. None of this clapping and joyfulness. It's too much. The church needs to have a reverent service. Melancholy pastor. The choleric elder now agrees with the sanguine praise leader because he wants to attract more people, especially the youth. And the phlegmatic members and the congregation, church is too loud and fast-paced, and we are uncomfortable. Or they haven't said anything to the church leadership because they are phlegmatic. What would be your advice to this church? What would be your advice to this church? How can they plan a worship service that respects everybody and have a unity in the church? What could they do?
They could make sure that the members are saying what they want to do so they can join in with the service as well.
Very good idea. So she's saying is the members have to share. Because remember, the phlegmatic members are feeling uncomfortable, but they don't want to say it. So methods must be found to listen to what the members are saying. You have to let them to speak because something is happening in the church, but they're not saying it. Are we still together? So my sister is perfectly right. You have to find ways to get them to speak so that we can hear what are they really feeling. What else would you advise this church planning? Tell me, who else? What else would you advise? Anybody? So this is a real example, by the way, again. Hey, tell me about it now. Tell me about it.
I'll say mix it up. Don't always have one worship leader.
Very good. So this is where now what we call the liturgical plan of the church becomes important. So the leaders and the pastor must have a liturgy that says a rota of services. Sometimes it must meet the sanguine's needs, but other times it must meet the other members' needs as well. That can only come if you plan it well, because you know your Are we still together? Otherwise, what will happen after a while? The people start leaving the church because this is not the style of worship they want. Or the pastor is kicked out. Because the pastor, what was happening? Different personalities are playing out in the church. Are we still there? All right, last one. Sabbath school. All right, this is a 13th Sabbath program. Today was 13th Sabbath, so I thought this one was fun. Now, the choleric Sabbath school superintendent is organizing for 13th Sabbath children's event. And she wants everything to be organized and finalized quickly. That's the choleric, isn't it? Very focused, very determined. Paul. The melancholy Sabbath school teacher on the committee feels a bit stressed because there hasn't been enough time to review every detail. And so the melancholy is there saying, and the board, they just asking a lot of questions. What about this? They feel the stress is coming. Everything is not organized. The sanguine volunteer is excited. Oh, it's true. But they haven't been doing their work. They haven't been doing their assignments. May not be. Meanwhile, the phlegmatic, because remember for the sanguine is the experience. For them, the ultimate outcome is the experience a good one for people. So they are doing the right thing. The way to get to it is a little different. The phlegmatic now is trying to keep the peace and is not saying anything on the committee. How would you advise the Sabbath school planning team? What would you say to them? How to do it better? What would you tell them? Yes?
Have a meeting or something.
Have a meeting, but in the meeting what must happen?
Come to a decision.
Yes, but remember now, the phlegmatic not talking.
I'm a sanguine, I don't know, I'm here for the vibe. I'm just...
So in the meeting, you notice the phlegm. So in the meeting now, the leader must make sure you're hearing from everybody. Because the phlegmatic is obviously feeling something, but they're not verbalizing it. That is why when you have meetings, you have to make space to say, who have we not heard from? Because the phlegmatic personality is not going to talk up. They just want to keep the peace. Are we still there? All right, all right, my time is up, so I won't go through. So we're going to end now with these concluding remarks. This is I wish we had, you could go into so many different dimensions here, but you said church and family, so we wanted to show the dichotomy between the two. Listen as we conclude now. Differences, how do you treat with differences? We only did one today, but mark differences. Listen to what Sister White says in Adventist Home, page 427. Said, marked differences in disposition and character exist within even the same family. So I want you to know when you go home, if you have lots of siblings, try to analyze what is the temperament or disposition of your family members. Even in the same family, you can have a sanguine daughter, a phlegmatic one. That's what she says here. Listen now, here's the part I want you to take. For it is the will of who? Whose will is it? It is the will of God that persons of varied temperament should associate together. Ooh. She says, when this is the case, each member of the household should sacredly regard the feelings and respect the rights of others. Listen now, here's a knockout punch. By this mutual consideration, so you're thinking about me, I'm thinking about you. By this mutual consideration, forbearance is cultivated. You're learning patience. Prejudices are softened, and rough points of character are smoothed out. Hold on there now. If you think about how to meet the needs of your other family member, temperament, spouse, daughter, child, she says, it is actually benefiting you. Why? She says, patience is cultivated in your heart. So the father whose wife is easygoing has to now learn, breathe. She wants to just go on no plan, but breathe. He's learning patience. That's one. Then she says, prejudices are softened. So you stop seeing the other as the enemy. Your prejudices is softened. And then now hear what she says. Your own rough patches will be... Oh my Lord. So what by acknowledging the other person's temperament, you're actually helping. Let me tell you my experience. So I am an introvert and my wife is an extrovert. She loves to have a house party. You want for things to, everybody must come. Oh, birthday party. Oh, birthday party. After church potluck, me, I just want to be in my study and just read. When they come, my blood pressure go up so. Because it means I have to come out of my shell and be, hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? And I am an introvert. My happy place is to be by myself. But she is, oh, party. Oh, my blood pressure is going up. But over the years, I have now learned to love those parties. Why? Because my selfish self who just wants to be by myself is learning it is good to have friends around, to have a potluck. They talk and you leave feeling better. So my rough patch is now softened by her wonderful outgoing person. Does it make sense? So over the years, me too, people even say, oh, I'm outgoing. I'm not outgoing. In my heart, I'm still an introvert. My happiest place to be is by myself. So I have to get up early in the morning. I have to be by myself. That's my happy place. That's what she says. He said, this is what she says now. Last line. Harmony may be secured and the blending of the varied temperaments may be to the benefit of each. Isn't it wonderful? That's Adventist on page 427. So in conclusion, what do we take away? 6 o'clock, right on time. How do we celebrate our differences? Number 1, 3 things for you to take away. Number 1, acknowledge the other person's temperament. What do? To acknowledge it, you need to know it though. So to say, my wife is an extrovert. I am an introvert. I'm acknowledging it. Then, number 2, accept it. And number 3, respect it. It's very simple. Acknowledge it, accept it, and respect. In the church, same difference. My pastor loves structured services. Acknowledge it. Accept it. He's not going to change. That's who he is. Respect it. Because perhaps in some way, the way he's doing service may one day be helping me. Because I'm very... Do you see? So the 3 things to take away. Number 1, do what? Acknowledge it. Number 2, accept it. And number 3, each of those is a bit of a journey. So you're going to have to take your time. It's not that easy. And in summary, our differences allow us to expand. I have now become a better person, I can say, because of my wife's influence. I have my introvert time, but I can also welcome and appreciate parties. I can love when people come over for birthdays now. I can appreciate it. I am expanding myself. God intended that our differences should enhance our family life. We complement each other. So she's an extrovert, I'm an introvert, we help each other. As we rub off on each other, a little of her comes on me, a little of me goes on her. That's how God intended it. She says, by this means, we have patience, we have forbearance, prejudices are softened, and rough points of character are smooth. And the result is a happy family, a harmony. God uses our differences to save us. That's the point we're making here. The reason why God brings us all into the church is He didn't all make us sanguines in the church. Why? Because we need cholerics. We need melancholy. If all the church were the same personality, what kind of church it would be? Very interesting. So in summary this evening, number 1, I want you to take away now. God knows every one of you. How do I know that? The Bible says even the hair on those who have hair, is numbered. He knows you. He made you the way He made you. Psalm 139 says, He formed you in your mother's womb. It is He who knitted you together like that. So number 1, He knows you. Number 2, you are different by design. He intended it so. And He placed you right in your family and said, this family needs a sanguine, else they will be very boring. This family needs a melancholy, or else they'll be too happy-go-lucky. Sometimes they're too happy. They need somebody to bring them back to thinking. This church needs some more melancholy. I'm going to bring someone to church with that. He's doing it. He's doing it. We are different by this. Values you. You are important to Him. Here today and you didn't know what your temperament was, My hope is that you will, this is not a perfect, just identifying who you are, but where you should be choosing. If you fail, all truth, including
the best workshop I've been in. You are very, very gifted at what you do. And thank you so much. It's relevant to us as a church. I just want to give God thanks. I want to say special thanks to Elder Robinson and his family for taking the time out to come today and did this workshop for us. I'm sure we're obviously all blessed by it. I also want to thank Sister Judine and Brother Dwayne for putting this all together, the afternoon program. Can we say amen to them? I thoroughly enjoyed this workshop. I also want to take the time out to thank you all for staying back. So a big thank you for the sacrifice they've made, so that we appreciate you and God bless you. In divine service and Sabbath school, all the people I asked readily agreed, and you know it's just a blessing to have members in the church like that. Thanks to Romaine for stepping in last minute in this program playing. Thanks to Tim, who took up the challenge to present the sermon, the children who took part, everybody. It was, without us all coming together to do what we did today, it wouldn't have been the same. So I just want to thank you for Sister Cheryl for assisting me in the planning of divine service, for Sister Charlene and Jason, who helped you, Shish? Oh, Kimisha and Jason, who helped with the Sabbath school program. Sister Nikki, who set the table up and, the layout out without even being asked. Yeah, church, we're so blessed as a church. I just want to thank you all. If I've missed anyone, I'm so sorry. It's not on purpose. Just know that we appreciate you. Before we close, however, I think it's fitting for us to just come together. We're going to make a circle. We're going to sing this song, I Need You, You Need Me. We're all a part of God's family. We're the singers. No, Charlene, you can sit down, not you. Let's end the program on a high, okay? So, Janet, she's left. Come on, you know the song, Brad? I Need You to Survive. Come on, can we just form a little circle and hold hands? Thank you, hope you know it. Anybody else know the song and want to join? Feel free to pick up your mic. Once you're not singing out a tune, it's fine. Let's go. I need you. I need you. You need me. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. All a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important. You are important to me. I need you to survive. So we're going to take it from the top. I need you. Let's go. I need you. I need you. You need me. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His said, I pray for you, you pray for me. I pray for you, you pray for me. I love you. I need you to serve. Won't harm you. Harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. Pray for you. Pray for you. Please pray for me. For me. I love you. I know need be supplied. You are important to me. Survive. Uncle Clive, you're close. Oh, Jason, you're next. Next. Could you just close us in prayer?
Let us pray. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus. Well spent Sabbath. We thank you for those who well spent Sabbath. We thank you for those who have participated in this program today. We thank you, Lord, we thank you, Lord, that you have used them in a way to both minister and to lift